it's our first flop. Like every time, I just think it's our first flop. I saw Avengers Endgame and I looked around me and I said, is it our first flop?
Everyone says the MCU fell off after Endgame.
It's not even like Marvel really ass, it's just like they're beyond inconsistent, bro.
The MCU has never been more in shambles than it is right now.
According to Scorsese, it's not cinema. I gotta take a look at that.
The MCU probably won't exist in 5 years.
I think Marvel just needs to shut up.
The MCU is dead.
The Marvel Cinematic Universe. So it goes without saying that the MCU has remained unbeaten in terms of movie franchises since its start almost 20 years ago. It's the cinematic universe that just keeps on giving, releasing multiple different projects per year and ensuring fans that there is always more to come. Films like Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four First Steps were both amazing, but let's face it, the MCU has been slacking in terms of the brilliance it once had. Don't get me wrong, I'm still a generational MCU lover and always will be till the day I die, but even Marvel's top glazer can admit that the MCU hasn't quite had the sauce in recent years. But it isn't for the reasons that a lot of people make out. Now, I'm not one of the cringe lords that thinks Marvel has become woke just because they're giving more female characters the spotlight. It needs to be said that a lot of the MCU hate comes from people that say it's about the quality, but only ever actually complain about it when they see that a flying silver character with a surfboard is a woman rather than a man. Some people need to realise, just because we had an iteration of Norrin Rad, and you have never picked up a comic book in your life, doesn't mean that Rad is the only surfer that can and should be played in live action. Look, like, I get it, he's familiar and the main Silver Surfer, but come on, like, please don't pretend like you love the character that much when you only seem to come out of the woodworks to dog on Marvel when a man kisses another man for a split second or a woman is the main character for once. You're not fans, bro. Like, go take a shower, you're not fooling anyone. Now, if you're one of the individuals that actually has valid complaints about the lackluster plot or mediocre CGI, then I see your argument. It's not exactly up to par compared to the likes of Avengers Infinity War or Captain America the Winter Soldier. Those movies were both visually stunning and brilliantly compelling in terms of story, and we haven't had vibes like that for a while. The stories haven't been as good, and the special effects have been pretty poor to say the least. But having said that, certain scenes, certain moments have single-handedly uplifted a lot of newer projects, regardless of those negative factors. And no, it's not just the big battle scenes, it's honestly the complete opposite. It's actually the little scenes. Now, people say the MCU should have finished with Endgame, but I wholeheartedly disagree, because projects like Loki and Deadpool and Wolverine were simply unreal. Seeing a comic-accurate Wolverine suit had the fandom dribbling in their seats. Hugh Jackman looks too good for mid-50s, man. Like, honestly, the dude needs a nerf at this point. Let's not lie, we all came out of the cinema feeling ashamed of ourselves after that one shirtless scene, and I can't be the only one that instantly got a gym membership to rid myself of the massive amounts of insecurities that that man gave me. That scene, in general, was goated. Like, it just was. The visuals were actually great, and Madonna's Like a Prayer hits too good. Like, I felt like I was levitating. Like, there's no other way to put it. That scene alone was one of the best scenes we've got in a long time. And it wasn't a scene full of jam-packed action. It was a simple yet effective scene that didn't rely on a buttload of computer-generated imaging. It was a moment of greatness. And great moments are exactly what we need more of in the MCU. Every person in the multiverse was kicking their feet and jumping up and down when Thor came down in Wakanda. Let's face it, it's the best scene in Infinity War and arguably top 5 MCU scenes of all time. Thor was just oozing with aura the entire movie, but big battle scenes like that haven't hit the same in so long, as Marvel just hasn't been able to capture the same feeling from Infinity War and Endgame. However, what they've done instead is nail the smaller, subtler moments that produce that same fuzzy feeling we get from big battle scenes. Now, don't get me wrong, the battle scenes in movies like Spider-Man No Way Home were absolutely fantastic.
Say that again?
Seeing Andrew, Toby and Tom fighting alongside each other is everyone's childhood dream come true. but the littler, briefer moments was what allowed the big stuff to hit so hard. Take the school scene for example, when Toby and Andrew meet Tom for the first time. Now I know that scene had everyone bawling like a baby. It was amazing seeing them share the screen together for the first time. And the dialogue exchange in this particular scene is exactly what made it so special. And it was the perfect setup for the events leading afterwards. You cannot tell me this scene alone didn't get you just as giddy as any other MCU fight scene, if not more so. And that's exactly what we need more of, especially the good dialogue part. And the thing is, Marvel has proven time and time again that they can do this. Just look at WandaVision. The amount of top tier scenes we were graced with in that show, which were simply just dialogue driven, is crazy. How many dudes were hitting backflips and creating TikTok dances to the sound of Vision saying,
"But what is grief, if not love persevering?"
Such a small moment within a 9-episode long show, but arguably the greatest. Or how many of us were holding back tears when Vision dies for like the gazillionth time? Scenes like those two are just beautiful to watch, and they unlock other emotions within the audience that, say, an earth-shattering CGI battle just can't. Funnily enough, a lot of these smaller moments I'm mandating Marvel to give us more of are actually from the smaller projects, with that being Marvel Television. Now, it's definitely safe to say that Marvel shows have been hit or miss, but I'm telling you, when they hit, man. Honestly, like shows like Loki have given us some of the best moments in the entirety of the MCU. And once again, those moments weren't in the form of a big battle scene. Seeing Loki go from Marvel's top villain to its biggest hero, saving the entire multiverse and becoming the god of stories, like honestly, I can't even lie, I cried. I did. Hands down the best finale to any Marvel show ever, with no fight scenes included. Just sheer brilliance in storytelling and some actually gorgeous visuals. Such a simple scene, but crafted so brilliantly that you could feel the culmination of a character's entire story arc coming to a head with a truly satisfying payoff. That's what we need more of. Depth. Fulfillment. A lot of the scenes that I love the most in the MCU, a lot of people may actually just gloss over, but when you get out that little shovel of yours and you dig a little deeper, you realise that it's those scenes that give meaning to the character's journey. Oftentimes, these small moments can define a character much more than a grand and epic one. Black Panther, one of the best MCU movies ever made, arguably holds the cake for some of the best character-driven dialogue in all of Marvel. That scene where Killmonger dies is pure cinema, because it gave a greater perspective of the man's drive and reasoning, and honestly, it's a moment where after the battle ends and the dust settles, we pause to realise that this guy was never really a villain, and his motives actually make some logical sense. These minor moments in the grand scheme of things are not only heartfelt, but they actually mean something to us as fans, and they're actually impactful to the overall story. And that is something that is more often than not lost within the focus of the big battle scenes that are prioritized. Am I saying stop giving us big fights? No. Hell no. Absolutely not. They still are, and always will be, hype. They get people up on their feet, clapping and cheering in the theatre, and that's an amazing experience. But put some more soul into the fights. Give them meaning. Set them up or finish them off with moments of character development. Build on the big battles by giving dialogue that shows what it means to the heroes or villains. Thunderbolts and Spider-Man Brand New Day both did this incredibly well. Neither particularly had a huge fight scene to end the movie, and instead they both focused on beautifully written character development and dialogue, and are two of the best MCU films in recent years, if not some of the best films Marvel has ever produced. That formula is exactly what Marvel has been missing, and it's exactly what could bring them back for a second prime. Because when small moments are implemented properly, they make the big moments that much more special.